So thanks, Mr. Mangeram. And this is very important session that we do for. So everybody, please listen very carefully. No chit chat in between. Definitely not. So this we do every year for all the new students who enter into the institute for their program, be it BSMS, BS, PhD, IPhD, MSc, it doesn't matter. Because most of you or almost all of you, at least one lab in chemistry, physics, biology, definitely will be doing before you decentralize, for example, let's say specialize in chemistry or physics or math. But still we have to do some chemistry experiments or physics experiments or bio experiments before we enter into the major. So this is for everybody regarding the following safety while doing practicals in laboratories, and this is extremely important with respect to our life. That's it. So it is related to our life. So in India we are not serious, but then we follow a very strict rule in our institute. Reason is very simple. We will also get to see why we are so serious and so strict. So you have to follow. It is must, not an optional. It's a must. You have to follow what we actually we will ask you to follow. So I will be focusing on the chemical safety, but then followed by that also there will be some more other things as well. Unfortunately, we don't have biosafety talk in this time, but maybe in another time we'll have biosafety also. So these are the labs. These are old photos. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. So these are the labs that you will be doing experiments. For example, let's say chemistry professional lab. The MSc students will do, or the BS and BSc students will do in the UG lab. So these are big labs. All the facilities, world-class facilities are there, and including safety instruments as well. So what we will do and why we will care about the safety. For that also I think we need to see that why it is important. So I'll show you a simple thing. To start with. Her from the burning due to those fire caused by the tertiary butyl lithium. So here we are actually focusing on the lab coat. So that means in chemistry lab, certain PPE, personal protective equipments, are absolutely mandatory. Without that, we don't allow the students to do even a simple experiments, whether an accident could happen or not, but we simply don't allow. So we have to follow the rules that we set, for example, wearing a lab coat, and later on you will see some more also. We'll see that. This is another one. The girl was student in the Department of Physics, again Yale University, again very famous university. This was due to a kind of, a mechanical workshop where she was not putting her hair tied like a ponytail, and it was somehow the workshop, it took the machine in her hair, and then there was the accident. So the message is that even in lab also, it doesn't matter that it is chemistry lab or any other lab, wherever you are surrounding and lots of things will be there, you have to be all the time alert. That alertness should be there, awareness should be there. So a very minor unexpected things also can happen, which we think that that is not very serious or like that, but still we can have very unexpected things. These are very serious, these are very common, very serious but very common. For example, incompatible chemicals. So we know organic solvents, almost everybody will be working with organic solvents every now and then. Lots of organic solvents are there in chemistry lab. And then you will be also working with reducing agents, oxidizing agents that you have studied in your school book. But you have to be very careful regarding mixing organic solvents with the strong oxidizing agents that you will be working. You cannot do that. It will oxidize and it will generate huge amount of heat, which will lead to the fire of the organic solvents. And organic solvents, almost all organic solvents are highly flammable because lots of carbon hydrogen bonds are there, so highly flammable, and you cannot control those. So we have in the system, segregation system, we have the waste disposal system, what to keep where after the work. You cannot mix, khichdi nahi kar sakte. So you have to have which one to put in this waste bin, what to put in that waste bin. We have proper labeling, so you will find out in lab, and accordingly. If you are unsure, you have to ask, but you cannot just dump anything to any container. That is what the example that you have here. That if you mix any incompatible solvents like oxidizing agent in organic, then you can lead to accidents, and these are tremendously powerful accidents. It will blow up, like they blowed up their proper hood system, and the even corridor fall ceiling also that got damaged. It will lead to even serious fire also if you are, let's say, having lots of organic solvents in the lab. Similarly, heat generating reactions. Many reactions will be generating heat by nature. Lots of exothermic reactions, you know. For example, photochemical reaction. You will be doing photochemical reactions where heat will be generated, and how do we tackle the heat? Where the flask we do photochemistry reaction, that flask surrounding we have a water jacket, and with a pump we actually circulate water there. In this lab here, you see Santa Barbara, someone was doing photochemical reaction and the water was circulating to keep the things cold, so that heat will not generate, heat will be dissipated, etc., etc. That guy went to take tea without notifying his or her lab mates that a heating reaction is going on there. And the plumber came because there was a complaint that there was a problem in the water in the lab. Plumber came, and then that time that student was not there, someone else was there. He asked, okay, can I just stop the water connection? And yes, you do, because he has to fix the faucet. He did it. By that time, this got huge amount of heat, explosion. The person, he did not know, but the fault here is the student who was doing the reaction. Either he had to inform a colleague that here this is the thing happening, so you have to take care, or give a notice that don't stop the water circulation. So these are some are very common sense, common basic sense. Ready with instantly you have to think that okay, what could happen? So that much power as a student you have to have. And if you do not know, it is okay, no problem. But then you have to consult, you have to ask the other people or the instructor present there, and etc. So diethyl ether, PhD students, this is for the PhD and MSc students, you will be drying diethyl ether with sodium metal. Now all students who came to BSMS and BSc, sodium metal everybody studied. So sodium metal you cannot mix with water, correct? So similarly, after drying the solvent with sodium metal, basically what we dry, we don't need water at all in the organic solvent for doing research or doing chemistry there. You cannot have water, water will spoil the reaction. So we have to completely remove the water, and that is where we add sodium metal so that all the water will be quenched, okay, and the solvent, the organic solvent will be pure organic solvent, then we distill out. So now then after the reaction, lots of unreactive sodium will be there. I have added excess. That we do quenching separately. There is a procedure for quenching that sodium. But by chance, if you don't do that and if you throw to the basin or any somewhere where water is there, then it will explode, obviously. So these are the things are very regular and common accidents in labs that we find even from the senior PhD students also because of negligence. It is not that because they don't know what will happen. It's a negligence. We are not aware of. That's what. We are not caring. So these things are very important that sodium metal, remember, you have to ensure the quenching procedure is there. You have to know, and we will teach also how to quench before throwing into the basin or any water things. This is something pyrophoric compound. Forget about the compound structure. That's not important, but you already know that there are many pyrophoric compounds. You have to protect them from oxygen. How to protect them? Definitely at the junior level, you will not work with pyrophoric compound because everywhere oxygen is there. Only in research lab, we work with pyrophoric compound inside a special instrument where inside that instrument only nitrogen or argon is there. Oxygen is not there. We call it glove box. Inside no oxygen, no air, nothing, either argon or nitrogen. So there inside you do the reaction, no problem. Now while quenching that also you have to be very careful how to quench because the moment you take out from that glove box to the atmosphere, then it will catch fire. So those things you have to take care inside the box itself before you take it out. So pyrophoric compounds, you have to be very careful. You should know that what could happen with pyrophoric compound. Similarly, sodium metal quenching, I already told you, if you do not do proper quenching, it can lead to a kind of, huge accident. Even in Kansas state, there also an accident with the second degree burns if you are not quenching sodium properly. So normally, you cannot add directly water with sodium metal because that is a violent reaction, hugely exothermic. So we do a reaction which is much more less exothermic, like isopropanol. First we react with isopropanol, that is also under kind of cold condition, ice bath condition, that let the reaction go proceed, that is less exothermic. After all the sodium reacts, any pinch of sodium, even if it is there, that time we react with dilute kind of, very like lots of water we do in that phase after quenching almost all the sodium, just to ensure that there is no traces of sodium left. But before that, we do isopropanol quenching to do that. This is something what we are very serious here in all the laboratories at IISER Bhopal, the safety glass. The lab coat I mentioned, safety glass, everybody you must wear, whether you are doing directly the chemistry reaction or not, doesn't matter. Because here is some things, he was not wearing any kind of face mask or something that could protect the face, but that is not simply, that is not very common. But then he was wearing the safety glass. That is why the eyes, which is the most precious things. So eyes he got saved because that he was wearing the safety glass. But obviously any kind of chemical splash, if it is acid base, it will actually spoil your skin. It can lead to even serious harm also. So it is important that whether you are doing, if you are there itself standing, then also someone can splash and you can be harmed also. So very careful regarding handling chemicals also, particularly acid base, which are strong acid and strong base, you have to be very careful in those cases as well. In the lab, you have to be vigilant. What is there, where you are working, where you are going to. You will see the UG lab in chemistry or physics, very big labs, very big lab. Lots of people will be working here and there. So you have to be also careful. You have to know your space, what is there, what is not there. You cannot be ignorant. This is an example. If you are ignorant, then probably that guy, someone kept the cyclohexane bottle in the floor and someone came and just hit like a football. But then it needs a shock. Many chemistry things, because lots of vapor are already produced inside the bottle. You need a shock only to detonate. So that also is saying us that while working also, working means working serious. No, lab, you cannot be like just joking or no. Inside lab means all 3 hours you have to be serious. You have to be very serious. If you are done, you have to help to the colleague and then be serious there also. It's not a marketplace. That's the point. This is what the example I like a marketplace. We don't care. So you have to be very careful regarding keeping the things. This is an example recently happened in one of our sister institutes, IISER Tirupati. We had a fire incident there, but fortunately we did not have any casualty. And IISER Pune also in recent time we had a fire that was big fire. The labs, no casualty in terms of students, but the labs got 2 or 3 labs got severely damaged. That is very, very expensive labs. Research labs are extremely expensive. So that also we lost. So there is also kind of material loss that is also serious. And most serious is that, okay, the students, the life, right? So got saved there also, so no problem, but that was due to a solvent spill. So a simple thing, just a simple thing, solvent spill, but then in chemistry lab you have lots of hot air things, oven, hot plate, many things are there, and you need an organic vapor to catch fire, that's it. So you have to be very careful on that front also. So basically what we do, personal safety we prioritize the most. This is the most priority, most important, personal safety. We have to keep hygiene, and also the lab equipment, cylinders and cryogenics, chemical glasswares. We'll talk about the fire safety, waste disposal I mentioned, and carrying chemical reactions very carefully. You have to know what you are going to do. So these are the main things that normally we cover to follow to the students. You will see in the labs, we have IISER fountain. If you by chance spill something, you have to go quickly without wasting any second. You have to go quickly, have plenty of water on your eyes, and so that no further damage happens. Similarly, we have safety shower. Something happened. Don't have to think even what to do. You go to the safety shower, just have shower, lots of water. That is the first thing is water only. You have to take whether it is eyes or body. Then we have serious fire accident. We have fire extinguisher. You should know, today also demonstration will be there, so that if you know the technique how to take the fire extinguisher, so you can immediately without 1 second loss, because 1 and 2 seconds are more than sufficient. So, and then in a very severe situation, you should know where to go, how to exit from the spot. So exit systems you should know. In the lab we have exit systems. Everywhere you should know how to exit from the place. So these are the IISER you will get to know in the lab. Safety goggles are must, full shoes are must, lab coat are must. These 3 are must. No excuse, without that, no lab. We will bar you to enter to the lab unless you come with your safety goggles, shoes and lab coat. Shoes means full shoes, no half shoes, no chappals, no other things, right? Full shoes to protect your skin. So this is very important. No short, loose or baggy clothing. Tie your hair. As I said, it is also dangerous. And alone, for the PhD students, do not work in the lab when you are only you are working. You must have one person. Cotton cloth is preferable, and cell phone. Nowadays, young generation, without cell phone, 1 second you will not survive, right? But now you have to practice. 3 hours you have to survive without the cell phone. So keep practicing that, because cell phone explosions are very common nowadays. Battery is there, it will explode, and then everybody will be gone for simple mistake. So you have to be very careful on that also. These will be given. These 3 are cross. Girls, you can notice, this is not allowed. Boys, chappal nahi chalega. Okay, and cell phone to bilkul nahi. So these are something that are must in chemistry lab, and probably other labs also, bio and many other labs. So no exception. Sir, chhod dijiye, mera hostel mein bhul gaya. No, you go hostel and then come back. So this is very strict. You will see the instructors will be very strict, and they will not allow you. So there are contamination still can happen when you will be working with gloves. You have to be very careful. I have noticed very casual PhD students I have seen, they work with the gloves, and then again they don't throw the gloves, lift and then press, chalo ground. So what is the point? You have worked with chemicals and this whatnot, and then again you are pressing the lift button, and then someone will come with bare hand and then he will also press. So the cross contamination, you never know if the guy was probably working with sodium cyanide. How do you know? So be very careful on this. Cross contamination is very common, and many things that are not there, like mouth pipetting. In our times, mouth pipetting was there in our colleges, but nowadays no mouth pipetting, so that problem is not there. You will be using electronic pipette, so no problem. So those things are very important, but then again, lots of sports person will be there. You will be having cuts and wounds, but then also you have to make sure that you are covering those cuts and wounds while particularly entering biology lab and chemistry lab. Very important. Otherwise, you never know, that can lead to anything. So you see, very small things, but these are very important things that we actually pay attention. So this is mouth pipetting. Nowadays not there. We have bulb pipette or electronic pipette that we have nowadays. So obviously gloves you have to use, no food inside. You go take food, no problem, but go outside the lab, wash your hands, take food, no issue, no problem. But no inside while doing experiments, no food inside at all. You have to be little bit careful about the lab hygiene. I have seen in our labs many casual students, very careless students. अरे क्या होगा उसमें, ऐसे भी तो हम लोग habituated है. So people don't care. I mean, think about your lab place or your workplace is like a mandir, temple, na? So you have to keep that place also clean. The more clean you keep, the better management can be done, right? But if you make things clumsy, it will be very difficult to handle those kind of things if something bad happens. जब कुछ होता नहीं है तो ठीक है, जो होता है then problem. So these things we are actually discussing before anything happens. After कुछ हो जाएगा तो फिर क्या होगा? So that is what the point here, that how we have to be careful in those things. Lab coat is, you see where it is standing. It should be there on your body, on your for your personal protection. But then you see that people are working without the lab coat. Lab coat यहाँ पर तो पूरा उनका काम कर रहा है, right? So that is what. So very careful. Refrigerator also, I mean, all senior students, they would know how to keep refrigerator very organized way. You cannot keep kind of, very dangerous chemicals in refrigerator in a kind of, without labeling properly and all this. So those things you have to make sure. Similarly, you have to know what are hazardous chemicals and what kind of hazard it can actually give. There are different kinds of hazards of chemicals that you will see. So all chemistry lab sessions, you will be given with something called MSDS data sheet. We will see that. So material safety data sheet. From there you will get to know what kind of chemicals are having what kind of hazards. So you should know how to handle them, and we will show that. So know your chemicals and the hazards associated with that chemicals before you handle and store. Both handling and storing, both you need to know that. For example, this signs, many of you know, this is flammable, this is toxic, this is explosive, corrosive, and so on and so forth. So all chemical bottles will have these signs. So you should know, you should see that sign, so that you are priori, you are alert that okay, this is poison, so I have to be very careful. Or this is flammable, I cannot handle just carelessly. So these things are there, and I don't have to define what is flammable or what is toxic. These all are dangerous and harmful. A small mistake can lead to a severe consequence. So you have to be very careful regarding these chemicals. And this is what I am saying. Any bottle, if you go, you will see that some information will be written. For example, dichloromethane, CH2Cl2, may cause cancer. So you should know that information also before. So you should ask your instructor that, sir, how to handle this, how to tackle this chemical, because it may cause cancer. So how to take, there are ways to do that. So they will instruct you, but you cannot be totally ignorant. It is your duty to know and to make others aware that okay, what are the chemicals and what are the hazards associated with those chemicals. So this is called MSDS data sheet are available for each and every single chemical. That will be provided when you will be given the instructions for the experiments. All the chemicals MSDS data sheet you can go and download, you can look at, or the instructions materials will come with that. You must know the MSDS, material safety data sheets. That gives all the information. Even let's say something accident happens with some chemical. Now how to tackle that, what to do? Whether wash with base, what to wash with acid, wash with water, not to wash with water, what? So the handling procedure is also given in terms of accident happens or spillage happens. Then also you can get to know once you read this data sheet. So that gives lots of information, not only the handling, spill handling procedure, but lots of common basic information regarding physical and chemical data you will get, which is very useful to know your chemical and work safely. So handling chemical, personal protection equipment, that is what we give most importance to handle chemicals. And of course, with that, gloves are also there. Without gloves, we don't work in chemistry lab, because you understand you will be working with many different chemicals and solvents, organic, inorganic. So definitely you will be. But then you please take help from your colleague or instructor who already know about something which you do not know. Without that, you should not take the risk. Arey kuch nahi hoga. I mean, why I am saying this? These are not story. I mean, this happens. We become casual the moment this talks ends, and then we go outside. Jaisa ke taisa. This is what the habit we have. But unfortunately, this is not the correct one that we should have. Now you should learn. You entered into an institute which you have to build the highest standard. So this is what the procedures and practices, that is what you have to make for your life. Hoods, you will be working with hoods, but then hoods, there are ways. The sashes should be down all the time with a little bit of gap, but you cannot have sachet fully open. There are lots of organic vapors will be coming and going. So you cannot have sachet fully open. It will contaminate the entire lab with organic vapor. Instead of suction out, it will be containing the organic, entire lab. And anything somewhere spark, electrical spark, or any simple heating can cause little bit more unwanted situation. So you have to be very careful regarding hoods. So we have all the labs equipped with these fume hoods, and you have to keep the sachet while working after that. Okay, good. Explosive compounds, azides, nitrates, already perchlorates you have studied in your chemistry book in 11-12. These are explosives. You will be working with some of them, like hydrogen peroxide you will be working, but there is also kind of dangerous chemical. So you have to be very careful regarding those chemicals, correct? Similarly, PhD students will be working with these metals, sodium, potassium, dangerous things I already told. Similarly, metal hydrides, many students you have studied in your chemistry book, metal hydride, they are also equally explosive with water. So they are highly reducing agent. So you can understand any oxidizable events, very simple compounds can be, it can react with your highly reducing. So highly reducible compounds, highly oxidizable compounds, those things you have to be very careful. Those are very common. So you have to be very careful regarding handling such reagents, right? Okay, so this I will skip. And similarly, lots of carcinogens will be there. Many common chemicals are carcinogens, but again, little exposure will not create. This is a prolonged exposure for, let's say, many years like that. So, but then there are ways also how to handle. We normally work under the fume hood so that any vapor will not come to you. It will be just going out. So that will not cause any problem. Similarly, you have to carry chemicals and bottles like this. You cannot carry like hand. Oh, sabji bazaar nahi hai, sabji ka thela. Okay? There are ways to, because if something goes wrong, it will be the danger thing, that cyclohexane example that I was giving. So you have to be very careful while carrying out from this place to that place. You are carrying chemicals or bottles. There are carts for that. Similarly, there are also something we call cabinet. These are also there what we carry. And similarly, we have several different kinds of cabinets to keep chemicals. You will enter chemistry lab, you will see. You should see on the first day that, okay, what is the lab, where is what, how it is kept. So you should have that general knowledge also, you will come to know. This is very true for the junior students. You will be first few experiments will be hitting. On water bath you will be hitting. And many students थोड़ा सा हीरोगिरी तो दिखाते हैं, अरे वो टोंग्स का जरूरत नहीं है, चलो यही देखो, और ऐसे लिया और छोड़ दिया. Every time I see they do that, but still people don't learn. So it is not to do. You don't have to show all those special power that you have. So you have to follow procedures, that you cannot just take hot things on by your hands, and no, it is not. There are equipments to handle them, and you use that. So similarly, you see cylinders, we cannot keep untied also. You have to keep, this is something what we have system in the labs, that all cylinders are, there are chain system. so that cylinder by chance accidentally it will not fall on the ground. You can understand what will happen. It is under high pressure, any shock, it can blast, you never know. So we have to keep all the cylinders tied, and when we carry cylinder from one place to another, we have instrument like this. So you cannot, it is a tied things, and then you can know. Chalo udhar tum pakdo, main pakadta hu aur chalo. No, not like that. Huh? This is for everybody. Good. Similarly, cylinders also we identify anything red, it is general, anything red, dangerous. Hydrogen color is red. Hydrogen color, not hydrogen color, hydrogen cylinder color is red and hydrogen is not colored. Huh? So anything red is very dangerous, so that's why this is hydrogen cylinder. Other cylinders are also differently colored, but you should know actually what, without, because you don't have to know what gas it is, but here at least you know that okay, what type of cylinder, what are the gas contained in that cylinder. From the color code you should know, so at least at that general knowledge you know what to do and what not to do with those things. Cryogenics, PhD students will be working with cryogenics, liquid nitrogen. Like any heating situation, cold situation is also some cold burn we call it. So liquid nitrogen, extremely low temperature, if you touch it, you know exactly same thing happens like burning. So it will severely burn your skin. So for that also we have special gloves for handling those cryogenics. Those are different gloves which can handle those low temperature. Okay, so this I will expose now. Fire safety will be given by other speakers. So I'm skipping the fire safety, but this is very important also. Different kind of fires you can have, and that is the, let me tell you, that is the most common accidents are due to fire, most common. Whatever chemicals I said, ultimately it is the fire which will cause the major problem. So fire handling, fire accident handling is the most important part that you will be learning today. They will be describing, that is most important thing to do that, right? So that they will be discussing this part. And finally, I would like to say that in labs, in your UG lab or as well as in your research lab and PG lab, first aid boxes, first aid things are there. So you should know that first aid box are having all the equipments of common equipments are there, and if you need you can use it. If it is finished, then you have to refill it. You have to notice, give notice to your instructor or lab attendant that first aid boxes stuffs are finished. So in emergency you must know all the contacts. You keep in your mobile phone or make a printout and paste it in the lab, on the lab wall or somewhere in the office, where these contact numbers are very important. Safety officer, fire safety, general in the city, and also the instructors, your supervisor or the student colleagues. All these numbers are very important. So just to end, what we say that it is actually without safety you will not enjoy chemistry. Chemistry is very enjoyable subject provided you maintain whatever we discussed here. If you maintain that, then you will really enjoy chemistry. You will do reaction, you will be fascinated to see the result. That's what. So, but then safety is first. So without safety you will not be really enjoying, you will be under stress. But once you know all the safety things, once you follow the safety things, there will be no stress. It's all fun, really, I'm telling you. So this is first and must. Obviously safety first, life is first. So there is first, no compromise, and it is must, no excuse, right? I said already. There are many slogans on safety, but it is not about the slogan, it is the life that we should have with all the safety. And with that, I really wish you a very good luck and good time in IISER Bhopal. Okay, and wish you all the best for your career. Thank you.